This episode of Improperganda is brought to you by processed meat. Sounds great. I'm going to be your host, Ed Craig, this week, and I'm with my co-hosts, Arlen Alec.
Hello.
Alec Line.
Hello.
It's Line, right?
That's right.
It's not Line. And we're going to talk about sleep this week.
Yeah. Among other things, probably. It'll
Probably
get off track.
Might go into Genesis. You never know. We do talk about that.
Big prog rock heads here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So how about that new Phil Collins album?
Arlen actually found a Phil Collins record on the side of the road the other day.
We went for a walk and they're like face down. I see this shiny thing and I flip it over and it's like the greatest hits of Phil Collins. I was like, that's weird.
Sure it wasn't in a dumpster?
I think somebody just threw it in their car. I don't know where it would have came from, but
serendipity.
It was.
Like the best house it could possibly go to.
Yeah, just to add into this, Ed and his wife live below me and my fiance in the same house. We kind of call it the commune.
Yep. Which
is where we're podcasting from, is the commune, and Alec is a mutual friend of both of ours. And
yeah, he's a frequent guest at the commune.
Yeah, frequent guest. Yeah, that's true.
I've done some sleeping in the commune.
Yes, he has. Yeah, up and downstairs too. We offer several suites here at the commune.
Bring a lot of experience to this discussion.
Affordable rates. All right, so I guess we're going to start with, let's talk about dreams. Get that out of the way.
Shit, where do you begin even?
So, I'm going to ask you guys,
wet or dry?
Probably dry dreams. We'll get
to the kinky stuff later.
Yeah, a few more beers, we'll get into the wet stuff maybe. So do you guys dream often? Do you like dream every night?
Yeah, but I don't always remember them. I've often wanted to jot them down. We've talked about this a lot of times. Like, I'd love to get up and write the shit down, but then I think that would just prevent me from getting back to sleep. But
yeah,
then I kind of wake up disappointed. I'm like, I had that great thing, and God, it's gone. Like,
yeah,
I've always wanted to pen them down, but I've never done it.
Keep a notebook.
Do you keep a notebook?
People do.
No. I used to. I was keeping one for a while, and like I found that the more I wrote down my dreams, the more I remember them. And once I stopped doing that, I was like, meh, see ya.
Kind of lost.
See you later. Yeah, I don't really remember my dreams much at all.
Some people never, ever do. I remember, I've talked to people and they're like, yeah, never. They just wake up. They don't have no recollection.
Yeah, my wife's like that. She doesn't remember. It's like rare that she'll remember a dream at all. She usually wakes up and like something happened. I'm like, a dream? Yeah, I guess it was a dream.
I've been like fucking traumatized by dreams before. Like, they can either set up or ruin your day.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you have really vivid things happening. It's just like, holy shit.
Yeah. Do you remember your dreams much, or?
I used to. I went through a phase at film when I was doing film studies when we were talking a lot about Carl Jung.
Okay.
As it applies to like old American film noir.
Who's Carl Jung?
He's the kind of the guy who took over after Sigmund Freud.
He's older than us.
The analyst who was like, I used to live next to Carl and we had a few beers now.
Carl's the guy with the shopping cart at Quadra Street that we met last weekend?
Yeah. I think he's got 2 PhDs in philosophy.
Yeah.
Rummaging through our wee recycle bins the other day. You guys got any wine bottles? Yeah. No, he's actually trying to say something intelligent.
I know.
Shitting
I'm listening.
This will probably de-evolve into us trashing each other quite a bit.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's okay.
Carl Jung.
So you don't remember your dreams then?
Like I said, I used to write them down and try to analyze vis-a-vis what we were learning about his analysis.
Arlen, you have a visa.
It's big. We're going to need a bigger boat.
What was that?
What's your belief with dreams? Do you think it's like your brain just trying to sort out the day's events, or is there some deeper,
I don't think so. I think that's bullshit. I think that's simplified, crap.
That you go for the Freudian thing or the Carl Jung thing where
I think there's something.
It's symbolic.
I think there's something. I think we've got a little window opening up on something that we can't quite see. That's just the way I look at things. So
yeah, I go for the other way. I think it is sorting junk out. Because there's been times when I've gone I've gone climbing with like Adam, and we go up like Mount Vinson, and if I've slipped, usually I come home that night and dream about slipping. I think that's like my brain trying to figure out the next time I go, I'm not going to slip.
So you think it's like an evolutionary, your brain is actually trying to maybe tell you how to do something differently.
Yeah. That being said, though, I've had dreams that are probably symbolic. I mean,
you just don't know what they're trying to say.
Yeah, because it's usually just like garbage. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Sometimes
your brain, you're just like, why are you showing me this? I don't want to see this.
This is horrific. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different thoughts and different schools of where dreams come from, why they happen, but
yeah, some people like smoke pot not to dream. Do you know, like
yeah,
like, some people don't enjoy dreaming whatsoever. They'll smoke pot. They'll still sleep normally.
Yeah, but I gotta say that those
eradicate
dreaming for sure. I'm not a huge pothead. I mean, for people listening, if anyone ever hears this,
yeah,
I'm like a once or twice a week guy. Whenever I do get baked,
hi Dad.
When I sleep, yeah.
Hi listener. Sorry.
We're role models. We are, all of us. But whenever I'm high and I go to sleep, it's like I wake up. I generally tend to sleep, I think, better, longer, and harder, faster. But I really don't dream very much, and if I can't remember the dreams. But I kind of like remembering the dreams because sometimes they really can set up a day. If you have a great dream of something nice, you wake up and there's birds chirping. It's great.
Yeah.
But if you have a nerve-shattering nightmare, it makes you sort of antsy, and it can really affect at least for me, but again, some people don't remember them at all.
I never wake up from a nerve-shattering nightmare in the morning though. I always wake up in the middle of the night. Like I never wake up. I never wake up first thing in the morning. I'm like, oh no. It's usually like 3 in the morning when I'm like that, and I usually get up and like go for a walk or just.
I want to talk about that. 3 in the morning. That's always I've been sleeping like a menopausal woman this week. I've been having terrible sleep, so it's always been between 2:30 and 3.
Yeah.
And I guess the reason for that is male hormone levels peak between 2 and 3.
Is that right?
That's why you have like a propensity to have like sexual or bizarre dreams, or wake up at that time. And I remember living in a house way back in the day, and I'd always wake up between those times, and I thought the house was haunted or something. But it's like, no, it's just like for males, it's just a chemical thing.
Sorry. No, go on. Sorry.
Just read your tweet. It's
just turn this down. Yeah, read your tweet. we're getting live tweets in the show right now.
We're a big deal around here.
So it's all hormonal, really.
Well, waking up at that time apparently is. It kind of does make sense. I mean, if you've been on like a bender and you stay up till 3, you kind of get that second wind. Mm-hmm. And we've done that down here before. I mean, we have a lot of drinking experience, the 3 of us. But I mean, when it goes past 2:30,
we'll be right back. No, it's true. Yeah, it's like 3 o'clock.
Kind of get that, like hitting the crest of a wave. Like, I'm good. Life is good.
Yeah.
Then 4, you want to kill yourself. But
yeah,
that's another matter.
So if you had your choice, would you choose not to dream or to dream? Like, there's some people that really don't like it, that are uncomfortable with it.
I enjoy a lot of my dreams, and I don't know if I'd say I'd learn things from them, but I think they help in some way. Maybe I like your theory, but maybe they teach you something.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's some lesson in there. Have you ever dreamt of playing an instrument?
No,
and it's like the most fun thing ever. I've done that before.
Never dreamed of playing an instrument. I should be, but no.
You? I dream about flying small airplanes.
You told me this dream.
In particular, a high-wing Cessna.
Yeah.
And getting back to your theory, yes, I have spent some time in that plane because my buddy was a pilot.
Yeah.
And he used to take me up all the time just to get hours in.
Okay.
But the dream is that I'm flying. He's not there. Nobody I know is there. Some other person is there, but I'm the pilot.
Yeah.
And I'm well aware that I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but they think I do.
Right.
So it's always like I've got to come in for a landing somewhere.
You're not telling them that you have no clue.
No. Of course not.
Your male superego prevents you from
everything's going to be fine.
So even in your dream, you're a fraud.
Everything's going to be fine. Yeah. Welcome to West, Jim.
Yeah, welcome to West. Yeah.
Ding.
The lawyers will have to edit that out.
Yeah.
But Yeah, and then the landing is always like sometimes it's usually in a cramped, small area, but there's enough room. Just do it, and then you get out of the plane and you're like, "There's no fucking way we're ever going to take this plane out of here. There's not enough room, so we're screwed."
Yeah.
So that's got to mean something.
And I texted Alec last week. He texted me that dream, and I said it sounds like you like to land yourself in tight spaces. Right?
Isn't that the Freudian sexual? Everything's like a sexual, or is that the other guy? I'm sorry, I went to school.
Freud.
Freud is sexual.
Yeah, everything is sexual. Every urge.
I don't really know much about Carl Jung. I keep hearing that, and I'm so ignorant. I should read.
He's the guy who's all about the anima, the animus, the shadow,
anima,
the ego, the superego. He borrowed a lot of it from Freud.
Yeah, Freud some of that stuff too.
Freud
right?
was his guru, right?
Okay.
I saw The Talking Cure. Does that count?
It's all in that Kira. Yeah,
pretty good movie.
Kira
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a while ago that I saw it, but
and then in the end, you just blow up the house.
She is awfully hot.
You know what? I went into that movie thinking
She's hot. I remember. She's cute.
I remember just thinking from like Pirates in the Caribbean, I'm like, how is she going to be a credible force in this movie? It's a Cronenberg. It's got all these great actors that I love, and it's like this atmospheric thing. And she was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, she really threw herself into that movie. It was crazy.
Wow. Cool.
Clearly didn't teach me anything because I don't know. They're one of those ultra famous,
Yeah.
fellas.
I've never dreamt about Keira Knightley, but I wish I had.
Yeah. My dreams of women to get ultra personal here are like, it's weird. Yeah, like
they never quite have an identity, do they?
No, it's always like an amalgamation of girls that I've known in my life. It's never it's
like a hybrid.
Like it's my wife, but it's also everybody else at the same time. Like it's everybody else at the same time. And it's weird. It's a weird thing. Yeah.
You get sort of a sense of who it is, but there's no definitive visual proof.
Yeah.
But you have a feeling of the person. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like a feeling that's so and so.
And if we ever get to like past third base, then it gets really weird. Like it's never like just perfect. It's like something weird has to happen to prevent that from happening. It's like I think it's my own brain being like, no, you can't.
The problem is
it's too easy.
If you're
Catholic
guilt, exactly.
Catholic probably guilt. What it boils down to.
Probably is.
See, if you're deep enough in a dream where you really want to bang the person, it's realistic enough that you're like, I can't. It's just going to ruin my life. Where if it's like one of those sort of half awake ones and you do it, it just doesn't. It's just nothing, and then you're just awake. You're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So like when you're in that deep REM sleep and you're like, I'm gonna do this, and then like, wait, I'll still guilt myself out of cheating in my fucking dreams.
Yeah.
Which is kind of frustrating because it's like, come on.
That's all right.
Come on.
So we're all in agreement then. We'd all dream. Would you dream if you had the choice? Would you dream or not dream?
I'd
absolutely.
You dream? Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, having nightmares, uncontrollable nightmares, I would absolutely give anything not to.
Yeah.
But at some point, I came out of that, and now I do very, hardly at all, but very infrequently, I will have a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I think I have done what they talk about with lucid dreaming, is that somehow subconsciously, without knowing it, I've taught myself to become lucid when it's really starting to bother me or becomes really scary.
Okay.
I will become lucid, and I will actually
stab yourself.
I'll be laying there thinking and aware that it'll be like, oh yeah, this is just a nightmare.
This is just a nightmare.
And that's like, boom, I'm awake.
Takes you right out of it.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm not just out of the dream. I'm awake.
Yeah.
But I'm not like freaked out. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. That was a nightmare.
What's
and that's what happens. It's a pattern.
That's interesting. I wish I could do that. I can't do that. What are you guys' worst nightmare? What is it? What's your? I know your worst nightmare. You should tell it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I had a really bad one. We were. I don't know if the job I was doing had anything to do with it. But we were painting the Dodds furniture in Nanaimo, and I had this dream.
Sounds like a nightmare already.
It was.
That is awful.
Yeah, it was. You know what? The job was fine. I don't know what this was a reflection of. Oh, you know what? I do know what it was. I ate a shitload of salt before bed. Me and Freya were watching. Freya's my fiance, by the way. We're blurting off names. So and so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Freya's the love of my life. And we were watching a movie in our old apartment, and we made some popcorn. We didn't have any salt. We had like this seasoned shaker. It was like barbecue or something, like a premix thing you buy from the store. So we just dumped that on, watched this movie, and just like went right to bed. And I launched into the most fucking horrific tableau of It was just awful. It was just awful, and my recollection of it was we were in a forest. I think she was with me, and I saw like an old like 50s truck, like an old rusted out, like an old Ford, I don't know, F100 or I don't know what you'd call it. And I looked underneath, and there's like a body, like threaded into like the exhaust, like a body like stuck underneath the truck. And I wasn't scared at this point either. It was just weird. I was like, oh, this is weird. And then the body came out from under the truck and stood up, and it was like a dude, like a guy he was wearing black. And of course, my instinct was to run, and he pulled some sort of blade out and threw it at me, and it cut me in half. I remember feeling it, and I remember feeling the top half of my body sliding off of my legs, and I fell down onto my shoulder onto the ground, and I was... At this point, obviously, terror is setting. It was the worst goddamn thing I've ever experienced. And the fucking guy comes over and bends down and looks me in the face. And that's when I woke up. And I was, like, fucking hysterical when I woke up. I was, like, panicky and breathing. And I woke Frey up. And it was, again, one of those dreams that sets you up for the day. That whole day, I was screwed up. I was working for my buddy Aaron at the time. And he was just like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I had this dream. And I felt like such a pussy saying that. I'm like, I had this dream. And it was so shocking. But it really was. It really ruined the whole day. Like, it was the worst thing.
Yeah. And
I gotta say, it must have been that sodium. That must have been the salt shaker. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not really supposed to eat, they say don't eat pickles before bed, and don't eat popcorn, don't eat things with high sodium content, or you might have a nightmare. That's a thing that's, you can Google it. Yeah, it could. It just throws you into some sort of a tailspin where if you have a dream, it could go into like a Stephen King novella. This shit was horrible.
We bought these shitty chicken burgers. Well, I bought them. Sean, my wife doesn't eat meat.
Oh God.
But I bought these chicken burgers, and like I decided one night to have them for like a midnight snack. Had a chicken burger, and that was the night that I remember telling you about that, where like Shauna, like I was laying on my side in bed and like looked over, and it like Shauna like got up out of bed like she was like a marionette, like from like that girl from The Ring. And I like almost screamed, and she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing, we're fine, everything's fine. And I swear it's probably because of that burger. It's just so salty and bad for you, and like it just fucks your body up.
Yeah, you told me about one where you were actually screaming, and you were worried that you woke us up because...
Oh yeah, that was also a chicken burger night. That was another chicken burger night.
So
this is twice as happened to me now, and that's why I've stopped eating chicken burgers late at night.
You want to fire up the grill?
Yeah, let's get a chicken burger.
It's almost bedtime.
No, there's another one where like Sean and I were in New York City, and she wanted to go to this church, and it was called like the Mausoleum of Shadows. And I was like, all right, that sounds like a fun place to go. Let's check that out.
Wow.
And it was like all these monks that lived in there in like complete darkness. They were blind monks that lived in complete darkness. And every now and then they flicked the lights on. And you were surrounded by these monks. And I ended up getting lost in there. And like in my dream, the logic was if you get lost in there, you become one of these monks. And so it was like years later, and Shauna had come back to look for me, and I saw her in there, and I went after her. I was like, Shauna, it's me. Help me, get me out of this place. But like all that came out was like blah blah, and I actually woke up saying that. I actually woke up like blah blah, and Shauna was like, what's wrong?
Are you okay?
What? Yeah, she's like, and I was so worried that you guys heard it upstairs. I woke up and I had to like come out here for a while into the living room and just sort of sit down and like that didn't actually happen. None of that's real.
Holy shit.
So yeah, the moral of the story is no more chicken burgers at...
I think no more sodium.
There's sodium, yeah.
That's a pretty complete narrative though, right? That's like...
I actually wrote it down. I'm actually kind of working that into a story. It's kind of like a Stephen King-ish sort of thing.
It is.
Yeah, it just doesn't quite make sense yet.
I like that. What, Mausoleum of Shadows?
Mausoleum of Shadows. That's what it was called. And like,
is there like a placard? Like
well, it had like a cross, but it was like the Sauron eye in the cross.
Okay,
like it was like sort of half closed. Yeah, that was actually
Wow.
Do you have a really bad dream, Alec?
My worst nightmares, going back into the past, were always somehow someone that I knew and really trusted in my life would come into it, and suddenly there'd be like a snap realization just by a look, or just a sudden realization of evil. Of total.
I think I know what you mean by that.
You can't trust.
We've got that with like places, but not people. But go ahead.
And for me, that's the worst. That's
like you just know something's wrong.
Something's off.
Yeah.
And shit's about to go down.
That takes me into my next one here, which is recurring dreams, which I guess that's one that you have. One that I have a lot is just being in a place wherever it is that I'm living at the time, and then the lights go out.
Yeah, it turns into... And
like
you're not going back on.
And you can't turn the lights on.
Switches.
Like, you have the same thing.
Yeah,
Where you
the
can't
exact same one.
And there's nothing there to really be scared of.
No, nothing.
But you know something awful is about to happen.
You can feel it. You can feel something is like in a closet or down the hall or...
Yeah.
It just all of a sudden it goes from like sunlight to like dusk, and then the lights are gone. You're trying to look for light. Like I've had dreams where like my whole thing's like I need to have light on. I'm trying to turn the TV on. I'm trying to think it, and it's
nothing
not happening.
Yeah,
and you just feel this ominous dark thing.
It's like a
happening.
loss of control.
It's totally archetypal.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
like
sure that's
the darkness, the shadow,
fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. Yeah,
this is what all the horror movies do with, look behind you, look behind you. And they don't look behind them. Why don't they look behind them?
Well, fear isn't. Yeah, it's like an evolutionary trait. You're hardwired to have fear so you can survive. It's a survival mechanism. But I don't want to have it in the middle of the night when I need to get up at 6 and work the next. Not that we ever get up that early, but I mean, if it pops up so randomly in your head. Like I was dreaming about my old apartment where I grew up, and I have that exact same thing, like what Ed was just describing, where I'm just in the apartment. There's nothing bad going on. Nobody's there. It's daylight, and then it just gets dark very quickly, and it's just scary, and there's nothing going on. There's no creatures, there's no ghosts, but I'm just scared shitless and cannot turn on a light switch.
I'm always in my grandpa's farmhouse when that happens, and I'm on my own. Or like I have the sense that people were there, like there was a party or something like that, and everybody left, and I'm on my own, started cleaning up, and then suddenly, like all the lights just start turning off.
You actually lived in a farmhouse for quite some time, which had to have had some horrifying moments.
Yeah,
in itself.
I was alone there for a long time. Yeah, but that is like the common dream I have. Where like, all the lights go out, and it's nothing really scary. Like I wake up, and I'm like, there was nothing that happened but darkness. But it was just like,
there's no ghoulies or crazy shit. It's just...
Yeah, you can just sort of sense that something bad is about to happen. Yeah.
I could totally see myself being a terrified kid in that house in your dad's basement.
In my dad's basement?
Yeah.
Yeah. With all the motorcycles.
I was a little scared just being there at the age of 48.
So
he's older than us.
Yeah,
it's okay though. We all have the same sensibility. That's really why we're doing this, is because we have a few beers, which we may or may not be doing now. But we do that, and we get into like really engaging conversations about various topics. And there's been a lot of times where we've been like, "Man, we should just record this," or have some fun with it, which is sort of what we're trying to do here. And sleep is a thing. Whenever me and Ed work together, and me and Al have worked together too.
My idea for the first
thing is like, "Hey, how was your sleep?" And sometimes it goes in like these tangents of horror. Sometimes it's interesting. It's always interesting though. It's something that's worth discussion. Everyone goes through it.
My idea too for this was that like if we're going to be doing this podcasting on a regular basis, what I do, because I'm hosting it this week or this month, however we decide to do this.
I'm thinking bi-weekly.
I thought I'd do sleep because I'm setting the bar really low. It'd make you guys look really good for the next one.
It's not though. It's not. I've listened to a lot worse shit than this.
Yeah.
Sleep is it's an important part of your life for sure.
I think if no one sues us, we continue.
Well, there's nothing to be sued over. I don't think so.
Yeah.
We haven't said any names of movies or music or anything.
We can say the names of. We can say that. That's
we just can't play the music.
We just can't play music.
Show film clips.
Yeah, we can't show
make
film
any
clips
sense
in audio format.
We drink a lot. Shut up.
Can we talk about Keira Knightley without actually paying her a fee?
We can do that. We can do that, right? Yeah. We'll be right back.
I'll tell you guys one thing about Keira Knightley, and I saw a topless picture. She wanted to do some photo shoot of showing women's flaws, and one of her breasts is larger than the other one.
Are we still talking about nightmares?
That's a real thing. No. I was shocked to see it because she seemed like one of those actresses that wouldn't show the goodies. But they're pretty lopsided.
We'll be right back.
I'd still pound her.
I know.
I mean, really, I would.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
That's so getting back on topic.
Love you, Kira.
Love you, Kira.
You're great in the talking, Kira.
We touched on lucid dreaming briefly. Alec, you talked about it. How you think you can do it.
And that's where you can control your dreams, right? That's sort of the definition
of that. I don't know that I could do it if you asked me to do it.
You've done it before.
Do it right now.
You sure?
But I remember... I clearly remember coming out of nightmares by just simply
thinking,
realizing, what's the big deal here? This is a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
But it never lasts. As soon as that happens, I'm awake. Like I can't continue.
It takes you right out of it.
Lucid dreaming is actually when you can continue in that
Yeah.
And control the events of your dreams. Yeah.
And either be at least conscious, and in some cases, people talk about being in control and controlling the narrative.
Yeah. That's some people talk about that. Like, is that something you guys believe in? Do you think that's actually possible, or do you think that's just made up?
I've heard people talk about it. I've read things about it. Psychologists have tried to study it by measuring chemicals in the brain. Neurologists.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I've never really. I think one time I remember lucid dreaming. And it's a stupid lucid dream because I was like, I remember being in my old apartment and dreaming and knowing that I was dreaming, and I decided that I'm gonna crawl into my dryer. And on the other side will be a world, and there was, and like on the other side of it, there was a whole other world because I thought it. I remember constantly thinking it and being controlled. Yeah, pretty much the Lion, the Witch, and the dryer. And I just went right through the dryer, and there was a whole other world there. And then, but I woke up right away. Like I couldn't control it for very long. It was like trying to rain in some.
And you woke up in the liquor store with your pants down. And there's police.
That was last week. I'm talking about years ago.
Kira had to come and bail you out.
Yeah, Kira. Why is one of them bigger than the other one?
Kira, no, not those, my balls. One of them hangs up.
One's an innie, one's an outie. It's fine. Don't ask questions. Jesus.
Do you have any lucid dreams, Arlen? Ever?
Well, but there's definitely different levels of dreaming, and there are ones like I was talking about, just to go back to the whole cheating thing, where you're in such a realistic situation with a girl, and you just, it's like as if it's happening right now, where I'm like, I can't do this because it's gonna fuck my life up.
Yeah.
And then there's ones where I'll try and be like, and go for it, and it just becomes sort of nothing, and you just wake up. So I think that's like you're close to the surface of the water at that point.
Yeah.
The really deep stuff you can't control, but when you're sort of thinking and things are happening, I end up just waking up. Like it never lasts long for me.
Right. Yeah.
But I think you're just sort of close to waking.
You have to differentiate between, I look at it sort of from a literary point of view. You have to differentiate from being aware that you're one of the characters, if, maybe even the main character in the dream. And you're aware of being there and things happening around you and doing things. You have to differentiate between that and actually being the narrator, the person who's creating the narrative.
Yeah.
And in control. And I think if there were lucid dreaming, that's what it would be. Because we've all had dreams where we're the character and we're doing things.
Of course.
And,
yeah.
And then just one thing, you think to do one thing and then you think to do another, and some of it relates to what you've been doing in your life or odd memories of people. And,
yeah.
Or it keys into a movie and, I got to get out of here. Like I used to have this continuously recurring dream as a kid. It was either the Japanese or the Germans. From watching so many war movies as a kid.
Yeah,
we already know I'm older.
Yeah.
I was about to say something. Preemptively got it out of the way.
So where I live, I'm sort of on the side of a small mountain, and the dream was that the invading army would come up the road from below in the valley. And I'd be like, okay, I know these guys are coming, we got to do something. I'd try to hide, and they'd be there, and they'd take over. And so then finally I'd make a run for it. And the driveway has kind of got this embankment where you could just almost jump off it. And every time that's what I did. I was running and they saw me and they were coming behind me and they were faster and they were catching up. But I'm like, fuck it. I just jump just like Superman and I'd be up and flying.
Yeah.
And I'm on my way. But it wasn't like, unlimited speed, unlimited power. It was like, I'm up, I'm floating.
Yeah, to work.
But it's kind of tenuous.
Yeah.
Not really, is this going to work? And I'm stretching my arms out,
I'll
trying
back
to go
that
faster.
Up. Yeah, I agree with you, man.
But then suddenly I'm away and I'm looking back and I'm like, fuck you guys. And then a minute later, I'm like, uh-oh. And I'm starting to lose altitude.
Yeah.
Gradually, And the dream literally would normally end at the point where I'd come to a landing on the street down in the valley, which is maybe not even half a click from our house.
Yeah.
And I'd look back and they were coming.
So it ended on a bad note.
So I'm still fucked.
Yeah.
Do you pay taxes?
Flying or not.
That's where you wake up.
Evading the government. I'll back you up with the flying thing though, because the flying is like, the cliche, if you've ever flown in a dream, well I have, but it's always like how you described it, where I'll do it, and it's great for a few minutes. And I'm like, I'm like trying to flap and like pump my arms and stuff, and then I'm losing altitude. It's never like a heroic Superman to the moon.
I've never had that.
It's always like it's awesome for a minute, and then I'm like, oh shit,
I can't.
It's almost like you lose faith in your ability to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. As soon as you start to think, I'm fucking flying. This is some shit. As soon as you think about how you are, it's gone.
I've had a dream where like I can't. I've never had a dream where I can fly, but I've had a dream where I can run really fast. Like each stride I take is there's 4 strides where I can just run like just so quickly.
Wow.
To get away from stuff. I've never had the flying dream.
I'm the opposite. When I run in a dream, I'm like a fucking crippled person. I'm just.
Well, I've had that too, where like you're trying to get away from something evil, and it's like
really giving her, and
you're running through molasses. It's like
yeah. No, running never works for me. How about driving in dreams? That's always a disaster too.
Yeah, I've had lots of bad driving dreams.
Cars in dreams are terrible.
Here's a possible segue.
Alec is holding up his finger.
Possible segue for.
He's older than us.
Not lucid dreaming, but
lucid drinking.
We're gonna wrap up dreams here in a second.
Paralysis.
We're gonna get to that later.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna come back to that.
I'm gonna hold back on that.
Sure, yeah, I'm gonna wrap up dreams with a couple quick fire questions. Do you guys dream in black and white or color?
Color.
No idea.
I don't know either. I think it's color. I'm
definitive
pretty sure.
Color for
you
me.
think so?
Oh yeah. No,
yeah.
I've seen trees, greens, reds.
Yeah.
Definitely color. I don't know about every single dream, but I'd say 90% of them for me are definitely colorized.
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm technology forward in my dreams. It's HD too. 4K technology.
4K. Iron Man 3.
Right?
Dream clarity is important.
Yeah,
of course.
So, okay. And the next one to wrap up dreams here. Do you guys dream in first or third person? Or both? Do you ever see yourself in your dreams, or are you inside your head the whole time?
I'm in my head. I don't think if I ever see myself, it's very rare.
Yeah.
I'm usually in my own. I'm pretty self-absorbed. I'm an only child, so it's all about me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much Duke Nukem.
First person shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I've had one dream, I told you about this dream, where I saw myself, and I came up, I surprised myself in my dream. I came up behind myself, and I tapped myself on my shoulder, and myself turned around and started screaming at me, and I woke up.
That's horrific.
That's bone
chilling. It was pretty horrible. That's the only time I dreamt myself. I usually am first person shooter.
Do you ever lose time?
No.
How many characters actually do exist inside your head?
Well, 14 that I've counted so far.
Okay.
Yeah. 14, easily 14.
What's behind door number 4?
You want number 6?
Any hot girls?
I'm not a number.
Any hot girls inside me? Well, I've been inside a few. Anyways, so the next...
No, you haven't.
We're going to move away from dreams. We're going to go into insomnia. Do you guys suffer any insomnia at all?
Yes.
Alec?
Well, define insomnia. Like, how long do you have to not sleep before
insomnia is defined a night without sleeping is the
without sleeping at all.
At
like
all.
You don't even get a wink? Or?
No, microsleep still count. If you sleep for like an hour or so, like insomnia is pretty much like if you sleep an hour or so, it's just if you're not getting the full amount of sleep, right?
Okay.
Like if you like an insomniac is just lacking of sleep, so you can still sleep. It's not without sleep altogether. Like, do you go through bouts in your life where you're not sleeping well? And is that a pattern?
Not ongoing day after day, night after night.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens with me is if I go to bed after having drunk 2 or 3 beers.
Having drank 2 or 3.
After having drunk, you're talking to a creative writing.
Okay, sorry, he went to school.
Sorry, I
dropped the mic.
Corrected. I'm older.
Snap.
Come on, bring it.
That hurt. Okay.
Bring the grammar wars. What was I talking about?
You better be on guard now.
You're talking about drinking.
Okay, so
drank.
Whenever I've been drinking, but only like 2 or 3 beers.
Yeah.
And that's like an easy go to sleep, right?
Yep.
But consistently, like 4 a.m.-ish, 4:30, I'm awake.
You're wide awake.
And I'm probably not going to get back to sleep.
Right.
Because it's just late enough that, whatever, my alarm might be set for 6 or whatever.
Drinking damages sleep more than probably anything in my life.
But not like going out in the night and drinking. I'm just talking about like a couple of drinks.
That's all it takes, though,
just before bed.
Yeah, it really screws it up.
Yeah, it does screw it up for you. Yeah, I find if I have a couple of drinks, my sleep is restless that night.
It's not as good. No, it's not as good.
It's easy to go to sleep immediately.
Well, yeah, you get the heavy lids, you're good. And then, you pop awake at 2, 3, 4, and that's it.
Yep. So that's the most. I think that's the most common type of insomnia for me, anyway.
It's just from drinking. You never had it like from stress or?
I probably have, yeah.
Yeah.
That's more on the other end, like the front end, like can't get to sleep.
Yeah, like anxiety, like something big's coming.
Sure,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or just too much going through your head.
Yeah, Arlen, you've ever had any insomnia for any period of time?
Yeah, I'm sort of a week to week guy. Like some weeks I'll sleep really well, and some weeks it's just I'll wake up at 2 or 3, the witching hour.
Yeah.
And then I can't get properly back to sleep. Like sometimes I'll be wide awake, and one thing you've suggested is to stay awake and read or do something. But I can never bring myself to get out of bed, go into the living room, and just admit defeat.
That's why
I probably should though, because like if the other night this happened, I woke up at 3, I was fucking wide awake.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't properly get back to sleep, and I was a miserable prick the next day. You remember?
Yep.
Yeah,
we work together.
I'm not a great sleeper. Traditionally women are worse sleepers than men, but I would say
is that true?
That's what I've heard.
I didn't know that. Huh.
That sounds vaguely sexist.
It's a little sexist.
I'm calling the CBC.
It's a little sexist. You care to correct something else of mine or doing this?
I'm bringing in the CBC. That's all I'm saying.
This is a very nice table. I'd appreciate if nobody flipped it.
No. But like they say because women are, they're childbearers and they're always on alert, and it goes back to like caveman days when they have to be the ones that are, and the men just are snoring in the corner. Well, that's never been me. Like I'll wake up easily. I'm a light sleeper. I'm not a great sleeper. I've never been a great sleeper.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wish I was better at sleeping. I mean, not that it's a skill.
Yeah.
But like what Al was talking about with the drinking, I agree. I mean, if on a Monday night, like we throw darts, we're in a league. If I have the 3 or 4 beers, I'm like, well, I didn't get pissed. But like, I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up in a few hours having to piss. And then after that, it's just sort of a tossy-turny. It's not great. So I might as well just have the 10 drinks and have that 5 hours of blackout, really.
Yeah. If you can
economize the sleep.
If you can have the drinks a little earlier, stay up, get involved with something, whatever, even just watching TV. But in other words, just give the alcohol a chance to work through you.
Really work out of your system.
Then go to sleep. Doesn't matter.
So like you say, you're so tired after you have the 3 or 4, and you're just like you can barely keep your eyes open.
That's right.
I mean, the reason I did this podcast was to talk about. I have insomnia. Like
that. Yeah, you're not a good sleeper.
I don't sleep much at all.
And you stay up late.
I don't need much sleep either. Like I don't really need to function on a lot of sleep. But I find that when I can sleep, like we talked about this before, I just don't bother. I'll just do something. I'll read or I'll
play. Which is probably the smart way.
I'll pluck away in guitar. I hate laying in bed and staring at the ceiling and just watching your life go by.
Getting more and more progressively frustrated that you can't sleep.
Like I've had nights where like when I was a kid where I'd like punch my pillow because I'd be so angry that I couldn't sleep, and there's nothing else you can fucking do
because the next day is gonna be shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be shit. So like, why not make the best of your time when you're awake? Like I'll read or I'll do something. Like insomnia, I've always had it my whole life. So it's What's the longest that you guys have gone without sleep?
Probably a night.
One night?
Just a night, yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely had nights where either from drinking or hanging out with people and you just sort of say, fuck it, I'm going to stay up.
Yeah.
But that following night's, you're gone.
Yeah.
I've never strung multiple nights in a row.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Alec?
Yeah. 30, 36, 40 hours.
Like
not into a second night.
Not a second night?
No.
I've gone 4 days without sleeping.
Oh man, I don't know how you
4 days?
4 days, yeah.
You must have been hallucinating at that
point. I had a bit of a mental breakdown at my work. That was like one day.
4 days.
4 days, yeah. I had like micro sleeps where I slept for like maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes here and there. It was a really stressful time in my life when I was going through some shit. And
no kidding.
But yeah, I just couldn't sleep, and then it got to the point where like at work one day, I remember like talking to my buddy. I was just sitting there, we were just talking at work, and I was actually feeling not too bad, and like suddenly I just felt myself sliding down the wall, like my legs just gave out. And I just like sat down and started crying. And he's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I haven't slept in 4 days."
it's like you're 8 months pregnant all of a sudden. What's happening?
He drove me home, and like I went, and then I got my buddy to pick me up, take me to the doctor, and I got some sleeping pills and stuff like that, and it evened itself out. But yeah, it was 4 days. After a few days, you start really wigging out. The brain just starts to go like, crazy.
Waking dreams.
Yeah, waking dreams. Yeah.
In the interest of maintaining the quality of this podcast, I really need to spill some urine.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
That's what the empty beer bottle is for.
Go ahead.
Should we pause it?
Do you want to pause it, Alec, or do you want to keep going?
You guys, no, we can roll.
You guys,
yeah, we can roll.
I have a devil's advocate for you.
Okay.
Because just a little while ago you said, I don't think I really need very much sleep. And I would put to you that for any person on the planet, they don't need sleep in the same way that someone with a really large line of credit doesn't need money. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, not really. Explain it to me.
you might not need it now.
Yeah, you need it someday.
There's going to be some damage done.
Yes.
And sooner or later,
that's
you're going to
happening.
end up looking and feeling like Joe Walsh at the age of 50.
That's happening to me now. I'm getting to the point now where I'm trying to sleep more because I've spent most of my 20s and 30s not sleeping. Because I have a real problem with sleep. It just, I don't know what it is, man. I hate sleeping. Like, it's just a waste of time. And I'm not really doing anything important while I'm not sleeping, but I have a really hard time going to sleep. I don't know. It's weird. Really weird.
You should look into it.
Maybe go to sleep
clinic.
Sleep clinic, yeah, or something like that.
See what's happening. You don't have apnea, sleep apnea?
No, I don't have sleep apnea. No, I don't have that. Not that I know of. I'm pretty sure I don't. Maybe I do. No, I never wake up like gasping for air or anything.
I think someone would tell you.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any tricks at all? Getting to sleep on sleepless nights?
Counting sheep's great.
Beer.
Beer?
Fuck. I don't know. It's really tough when your brain doesn't want to shut down. I find there's not much I can do about it. I mean, there is mental exercises, and I try to think of just nothing. And if you ever really tried to think about nothing, it's fucking difficult.
It's harder than thinking about something.
Well, that's very true. Yeah, you try and just think about blackness, and then something creeps in there. And then it's like a snowball going down a hill, and all of a sudden you're locked in some big thought battle, and I'm like, I'm not fucking sleeping. You start getting mad.
You
and
do. For me, it's like the inside of my eyelids. You see those patterns?
You see patterns.
You close your eyes, you see like weird patterns. Like, fuck. I'm like, fuck, that's pretty neat. We're just going to lead to... Yeah.
Pink Floyd tribute concert.
Is this the pharmaceutical section of the podcast then, or?
No, we're not doing pharmaceuticals this week.
Sorry.
That's yours.
That's yours.
You're
hosting that one.
What would you guys guess is the longest anybody's gone without sleep?
Well,
some guy in
was it
Vietnamese?
Vietnam.
There's that guy. Well, we're talking about actual. There's some. We'll get to him. What do you think? Like practically, someone who hasn't had some serious health problem happen to them, where they are deprived of sleep. Like just somebody naturally. How long do you think you can stay up for? Like how long do you think a human being can stay up for without sleep? Yeah.
7, 8, 9 days.
Yeah, Arlen.
That's probably about right.
Yeah, the world record was in 1965 by Randy Gardner, 11 days. Wow. 17-year-old high school student.
He must have been feeling pretty wigged out at the end of that.
He had no health effects whatsoever. He slept for 2 14-hour shifts and was back on track apparently.
Really?
Right after that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but there was that Vietnam guy, which I have here.
And that was before Monster drinks too.
That was before Monster
drinks.
Yeah,
NOS energy drinks. Those are good for you, by the way.
Yeah, there's this guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Alec, do you know what? I don't know how to say that.
You're semi-educated. Tell us how to say
Thai Knock.
Sure.
Thai Knock.
Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
a great game. Let's talk about that. He has apparently not slept since 1973.
I mean, I'm just going to call bullshit.
Yeah, me too. I don't think that's real.
Medically, that's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Yeah, he's probably having
micro sleeps and doesn't know it. That's we've and before doing this podcast, we were sort of doing a bit of research and both stumbled upon the same guy, and a doctor said, he must be sleeping if he's still alive, but he just doesn't know it.
There's a disease called sleep state misperception where you can be asleep but not know you've been asleep.
I think we're talking about my entire life. I'm sorry.
Wake up, Alec. Wake up.
Shut up. I'm getting scared.
Yeah.
Is that it behind me?
If I spin a top, if it doesn't stop spinning, you should probably wake up.
That's true though, because I mean, you're really at the mercy of what you think your brain telling you is what's currently happening. So if you're really sleep deprived, your brain can really start fucking with you.
Yeah.
And you would have no way to differentiate that from your actual waking reality.
Yeah.
You're at the mercy of the gray, mushy thing.
Yeah.
In your skull. I mean, at the end of the day, but to not sleep for any amount of time is it's detrimental to your mental health, and then it really starts to break you down physically.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a good way to segue into this delightful thing that, ironically, I started reading about before I fell asleep one night, because we were talking about this podcast, and I started reading about sleeping and sleep disorders, and I found this wonderful one called Fatal Familial Insomnia. And this is a disease. It's an inherited prion disease. So apparently only 40 families on the globe have this disease, thank Christ, because it's the most horrifying fucking thing ever. It's one of your... Being that I'm not a doctor, I'm a painter. I can't properly describe how it affects you.
You're a doctor.
Basically, it stops you from sleeping until you die.
You play one on TV.
I'm a doctor too.
I'm a doctor too.
But it's an inherited prion disease, so there's a small mutation in one of the proteins in your brain that prevents you from actually getting REM sleep.
Alec has his hand up.
This is a real thing. Don't question it.
What's a prion?
You realize this is an audio podcast, so if you do something physical, you have to say this.
Yeah. I have raising his hand in disbelief what I'm saying. It's a little thing that links...
Get the closed captioned action.
It links proteins together in your brain is what I took from it. I mean, basically it prevents you from falling into actual REM sleep. And people have died from this. And there was one guy, I think he was a teacher in Pittsburgh or something. They tried to induce a medically induced coma, and it didn't help because it still wasn't that proper REM wave that your brain needs to achieve. And you die in about 3 to 8 months, depending.
Jesus, that's horrific.
You actually die. You actually die, and it can happen between the ages of 18 and 50, and I guess 50 is like a very common age where people.
You just made it, Alex.
I made it. But I mean, this was fucking horrific. I had no idea, but I was Googling. I was like, sleeping disorders, and this is an extremely rare one.
Yeah.
But it can actually kill you, and of course the symptoms get progressively worse until you eventually get like dementia and you're non-verbal, and then you just die because your brain, you need to stop. You need sleep. It is a requirement of your health. You will die if you don't get it for a certain amount of time.
That's so scary.
I think in particular, you need REM.
And that's what this is about. Like, you can induce a coma. I mean, people are doing all kinds of therapies, taking all kinds of drugs, but if you don't get that actual REM sleep, eventually you die.
Which is a funny thing, because I found in people with depression go right into REM sleep right away. They don't have that slow build up to REM sleep. They go right into it and come right out of it. And so like it's tiring. Apparently REM sleep is really tiring when your brain's really taxing. Like, that's not the rest part. That's when your brain's really active.
That makes sense.
Have you read that sleep deprivation actually temporarily relieves depression?
Oh, is that right?
They've done this many times over and over again, and it's consistent.
That's interesting.
As soon as they go to sleep and have a 2-hour nap, it resets.
So back into the
just
depression.
like you were. Yeah.
That's
right?
Different.
Huh. Yeah, I was surprised. I read that last night. I couldn't believe that REM sleep, like these like depressive people, just go right into REM sleep right away.
So they don't get
like the slow
go down the path.
They're
just out.
Slow
out, and then the slow, and then the slow back up from that, right? Like, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
That is. So in what you were just saying, I mean, maybe it's your brain just has to shift off depression and think about its sleep deprivation. Does that take precedence? Is that why? Like, I'm not actually asking you, but
it's got to have something to do with REM.
Yeah,
Here's the way it is. Okay, and I just want to say this right now, and you're gonna laugh.
He's putting his hands on the table, folks. So this is a big moment in this podcast.
Should we just get the video camera out?
That's true.
Ditch this.
We should be streaming the live video feed because Al is on his soapbox.
We can't afford that, Dad. We can't afford that, Dad.
Okay, I'm in the corner of Hyde Park. I'm on my box. Here we go. Listen. People have told me that...
Was Hyde Park something from the 60s?
I don't know.
It was a pop song.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's older than us.
Damn it. God.
You can hit the table. It's okay.
Damn it. No. People have told me that analogy is the last bastion of a weak and hazy mind.
Okay.
So you won't be surprised to hear me say the following. Basically, and fundamentally, human beings are inkjet printers.
Oh, I like inkjet printers. They're great.
I can tell by the way you're looking at me. You're saying, how is this possible?
I'm waiting for the punchline. I'm interested. We're not judging.
Okay, well, think about it. An inkjet printer is something which has an external consciousness connected to it in order to do all the wild and wonderful things it is designed for. But at the same time, without that connection, without that computer being connected to it, an inkjet printer can still fix itself if it has problems. It's called the inkjet cleaning cycle.
Okay.
And when it's doing this, it just shuts down. You can't do anything else with it, right?
Right.
It's just got to do its thing. You close the lid and you step back, and it starts making all these tickety tick 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 tick, noises. Kind of like when the eyes do this random movement.
Oh yeah, the random rapid eye movement.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I see where this is going.
It's starting to sound like a pop song by a Georgian band.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
REM sleep is the inkjet cleaning cycle.
Yeah.
So if we can't sleep, we should have an inkjet printer on our pillow and sleep beside it.
Are you calling me a dot matrix printer? Is that what you're saying?
We could try doing Horseshack tests. I don't know.
Did you say Horseshack?
I'm pretty sure it's
Like
like
from
Rorschach.
Welcome Back, Cotter.
Yeah,
Exactly. The Horseshack test.
Haven't you heard about that?
No, that's an interesting way though. It's like you say, it's just a self-regulatory system that sometimes you just need it.
Well, and that's what I go back to too, because like a lot of people say, well, it's symbolic and it's that kind of thing, dreaming. But like,
To just be biological, it has to happen.
Only predators dream. Prey apparently doesn't dream. Like rabbits and deer and vegetables. No, that's a real thing.
No, you're
I'm calling bullshit again. How do you know that? How do you know?
Well, I think it's the rapid eye movement
If
thing.
you sat down and had like serious conversations with, I thought all mammals had REM.
Well, not yet. Not yet. I mean, we just started this podcast. I'll get there someday.
We haven't planted the crops
deep
yet, so
discussions
we
with,
gotta
like,
wait until the weather gets
an
better
elk
before we
or
can
like
talk
a-
to our turnips.
Probably not.
Mule deer.
All right.
You did say, I remember you saying that though. You said only predators dream.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
what I've read. That could be hearsay. I think that's true though, because like,
Don't vegetarians dream then?
well, no, they don't need.
Shauna doesn't
What
dream.
about vegans?
Case in point, Shauna doesn't dream.
That's right, because
His vegetarian wife, folks,
I think
doesn't
we're onto
dream.
something.
yeah, she can walk outside and just
Mic drop,
she can graze. That's fine. Or we need to actually catch our prey
right?
at the store.
So we're figuring things out, figuring it out.
All right, let's get past insomnia. We got one last thing to get through here. That's sleep paralysis.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is a dark one. So, Alec, do you suffer from this at all? Have you ever had it in your life?
It's interesting you'd start with the word suffer because yes, I'm pretty sure I've had it,
Yeah.
but I haven't experienced any of the negative effects that people talk about, like paranoia.
The sound, the
or
whooshing
hallucinatory.
sounds.
I wouldn't call it suffering either. Like when I was a teenager, I definitely would say that I suffered from it.
When I was young,
it was
yeah.
scary as fuck when I was a teenager.
Absolutely.
I still
haven't
get it.
experienced it for a long time.
Okay.
But the only time I ever have had it as a physical thing has been in a totally blissful state. And I'll set the scene for you. Picture like a late afternoon. You've been doing a lot. Maybe you stayed up late the night before. It's a great sunny summer day. The sun's just starting to go down, coming through the window. The living room's warm. It's like, I'm just going to curl up on the couch and maybe have a nap.
Yeah.
You know? And so you just do that. And it's like, boom, you fall asleep. Who knows how long later, like an hour, 20 minutes later, you wake up and literally like just feeling so relaxed, like so much more relaxed than any time you've ever been drunk. I don't care how drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Just every single muscle in your body absolutely shut down. Like, and that's literally what this does, right? It paralyzes you.
It does, yeah.
So it's there's the reason for this, the body doing this, is to just shut your body down so that you can't act out your dreams, right?
That's the reason for it.
basically,
Yeah.
That's
it's
under
so that-
normal circumstances.
I
That's
think
what's
what they
happening.
think is that it's so that you won't fall out of a tree if you're sleeping in a tree. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Like, because we
So
probably
you think it's like an evolutionary thing from like
from
generations
being monkeys, where
ago,
we had to sleep in trees to get away from the tigers.
and you just shock yourself awake.
Yeah.
I came directly from a cloud, but for those of you who
But sleep paralysis isn't like you said. An hour went by. Like for me, whenever it's happened, it's been like I'll be trying to have a nap, and then all of a sudden I'll be into this, that cloudy zone where you're about to fall asleep, and then you sort of wake up and you're stuck because you're paralyzed, but your brain still knows that what's going around, like the surroundings of the room.
and are you trying to move your body?
Yes,
That's how I
am.
get out of it.
Yeah.
I will twitch a toe or twitch a finger until I can move as soon as I can move a limb, I'm out of it. And I'm like, okay, I just escaped that. I've never went into sleeping in that state. Whereas Ed, you've said that you've actually had this happen multiple times and you combat it by just going to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know how
I
you
just
do
put
that.
myself back to sleep.
Because it is so fucking creepy and weird. I mean, even though I know what it is, there's a lot of auditory stuff for me. There's loud. It sounds like there's a river going through the living room. It's loud.
It sounds like a. It's like
very.
Is somebody in
It's
the
like this white noise static thing.
There's nobody in the room. There's nobody in the room.
No, I mean like in your head. Is there somebody in the room?
Oh,
I know there's nobody in the room, but it feels like there's somebody.
It feels like there's somebody there. Yeah, I've
so
had that.
Yeah.
I've woken up lots of times and said to my wife that there's a man in the room.
Does he have long hair and a white robe?
No, not that man. No, but I have woken up a few times and said to Sana, "There's a man in the room," and she's like, "Shut your face! Let's go back to sleep, please." But no, I had the same thing. Like, for me, it's really auditory.
Absolutely.
Where you just feel, and I'm pretty sure it's the sound of your heartbeat. Like you just inside your head.
That's one thing we theorize. It sounds like your blood.
It sounds
whooshing.
like that whoosh.
Yeah, it's like a pulsating, rhythmic, very loud sound, and it's
like
very unsettling.
It is very unsettling. When I was a teenager, and like even in my 20s, I'd wake up and I'd have it, and it was panic. Like I could not wait to get out of it. Like it was just I was so scared.
Because you've never been paralyzed before. It's fucking scary.
It's really scary. Yeah,
it's really scary when you can't move real. And you're trying to.
You're talking about going into sleep.
No, it's like halfway.
I'm talking about coming out of it.
Yeah,
it's almost like you skip dozing.
Yeah, you're talking about something totally different.
You go directly from REM. I've read about it. You go directly from REM to awake, and your body is still paralyzed.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, but like
maybe it just affects you in a different
way. But for me, it's just blissful. You don't want to move. You just want to ride it like being on a wave.
I've had it so often in my life that it used to be really alarming, but now I'm like, it's just something that happens.
See, he's got the same experience but on a different end. Because
I
think we get it when we're trying to go to sleep, and you seem to have experience with it when you're coming out of sleep.
Yeah.
So maybe it's different when you're coming out of sleep, because whenever I come out of sleep, I've always just snapped awake.
Yeah.
But with this, it's always when I'm having a nap, and most commonly, it'll happen if I ever sleep on my back or on my sort of side and back.
Right.
And that's apparently, if you Google anything, it says that the supine or supine position.
Right.
I'm not educated. I don't know. It could be either one. But apparently, if you're on your back, it's a lot more likely to happen because your epiglottis is heavier, and you start to panic about not getting enough air.
Oh, okay.
So when you're trying to sleep,
that's interesting.
Your body wants to jerk you awake because you're not breathing, but you are breathing.
That's what happens in sleep apnea too.
Yeah, exactly. Do
you get sleep apnea?
I don't, and nobody's ever told me, so I assume I don't.
Yeah. I guess you wouldn't know. Like, I guess if you wake up gasping, that means you might have sleep apnea.
I think you always feel constantly tired if you have sleep apnea because you're not getting enough oxygen when you're asleep.
Oh, okay.
So I think it really, really, like, you're just constantly, like, tired.
So you think your triggers for sleep paralysis are sleeping in a
certain position? Sleeping on my back or when I'm napping.
I get it on my left side. If I sleep on my left side, I almost always get it.
Is that because you're more aware of your heartbeat, maybe?
Maybe. I think it's because I can hear. Yeah, I think it is because I can
maybe
feel
that's
that pressure.
Sound.
I feel the heart. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's definitely an auditory experience. I mean, Al's sounds more fun.
It sounds like really great. Yeah.
Sometimes you need to have a horror story too. But yours is nice.
Again, it was more when I was younger. Like I every now and then now, but just a really like super blissful physical thing.
Yeah, I'm not getting that.
I've never had a blissful sleep paralysis thing. It's always been like now. Like it used to be really horrible. I rarely ever get one that's really bad now. Like I said, I just say go to sleep. I just go back to sleep.
I can't do that. There's no way.
Yeah.
I have to twitch a toe and really work at it, and then eventually, as soon as I can just twitch my leg, I'm out of it. As soon as you can move a little bit of your body, you're out of it.
Yeah.
So you have to move that toe around, and then you fucking move your leg, and you're out of it.
It's fine. You ever had a dream off of that, like where you get up out of bed, and then suddenly you're back in your bed, and you're still
No. I'm always like, I always have to stay awake. I'm like, I don't want to go back into that.
I've had that where I've gone into
there's an incubus sitting in my chest.
Yeah, well, I've had it where I've gone into like sleep paralysis. I'm in my bed. That's happening, and then my mind wanders, and suddenly I get up out of bed. And I'm going to my daily routine, and then suddenly I'm like, oh no, wait, this isn't.
I'm not awake.
Real. And then I'm right back in my bed again.
Shit.
I'm still in that whoosh. That sound is happening again.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I just put myself back to sleep again. This is why I don't like to sleep. I hate sleeping.
I would take from this.
Are you a sleepwalker?
I don't sleepwalk. No.
Do you know any sleepwalkers?
Shauna says that I will kick sometimes.
You like sleep twitch? Yeah, I do that
twitch
too.
a lot. Yeah. What she says is when I'm falling asleep, I'm really twitchy.
Or I'll say things like, I'll make little sounds. Freya's woken me up because I've said help in a really low voice, and Freya said it's the creepiest shit she's ever seen. Because I'll be lying there, I'll be like, help.
You've just been sliced
and she'll
in half.
And I've just been,
you're lying on the ground in two pieces without a leg to stand on.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just gonna fuck my whole day up painting that warehouse.
So do you think that, like, with sleep paralysis, do you think that alien abduction and ghost sightings are probably just sleep paralysis?
I mean, you can't write off.
I mean, it's
everything.
It's pretty similar,
but it's pretty horrific. And I mean,
if you had experienced what you experienced, and you went into a room
and you had no idea,
didn't know anything but sleep paralysis, and people say, "Well, I've been abducted by an alien," would you say that maybe?
Oh, absolutely.
It's similar to what people talk about.
Go back
right?
to the Middle Ages and look at the incubus and the succubus, and the incubus was a female demon that rapes you in your sleep or does something. And I think the incubus is the male demon. And this was a thing. It was a weight in your chest, and it was like a demon sitting on your chest, trying to suffocate you. And that's, I mean, absolutely, that's what that must have been.
Yeah.
And being that it's on your chest means you'd be lying on your back. Which is, again, the more likelihood of having sleep paralysis is when you're on your back.
Or it could have been aliens.
It could have been aliens. Could have
been. But I think we'll definitively say for the podcast that nobody here believes in aliens. Alec?
I'm on the fence. I mean, I love Sigourney Weaver. I do.
I like Alien 3.
But, she had the bald thing.
We're not talking about aliens this time. We can do that in another podcast.
I wonder if androids dream in...
Color.
Electric color
sometimes.
All right.
Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Android coat.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. We're coming up on an hour here. Who's going to host the next one?
I think I want to talk about the vinyl resurgence and just hipster culture in general in Victoria. We should have said where we're from. We didn't even say
from
that.
Victoria,
We're from
BC.
Victoria, BC, Canada.
Yeah, only Arlen really is from Victoria, BC. You are the only one from Victoria.
We're all living in Victoria.
We all live in Victoria, BC. Yeah. We're Ontario people.
I just want to check on the dress code. Do I have to wear tight jeans and plaid?
You should wear a tighter suit next time.
You should definitely grow the facial hair more. Okay, for sure.
Good. I'm
absolutely.
Yeah.
Vinyl resurgence, hipster culture,
you can call
music
it
industry.
The Vinyl Cafe and just taunt CBC.
1 million hits right away.
CBC. Sue us.
Go ahead.
All right. That's it. All right. That's it.
All right. It was fun, guys.
No.
Look forward to doing
Don't let it end.
No. Maybe later we'll record a really drunk podcast, but that's the end of it. We put an hour in.
Okay.
We're good. All right.
This is the PG one.
I think I'm going to end the podcast by saying, let's go play some darts.
Al's older than us.
Let's go play some darts.
Shut up.
I'm saying let's go play some darts.
I'm talking to him.
Did you stop it yet?
Can we all say it together? Wait, hold on.
It's still going.
1, 2, 3.
Let's go play some
darts.